All right, y'all. Look at this. Wet n Wild, Snoopy. Everything else from this collection has absolutely impressed me. Look how cute. Look at the little gang. Oh, it's so cute. So this is the Peanuts Wet n Wild. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. Does this palette have a name? I don't think it does. It just has the whole gang on there. I do want to keep in mind that some of these, and you know what? I appreciate this because it's very, very upfront. It's going to be backwards because of front face camera, but it says face pigments. So some of these colors are not going to be intended for the eyes, and it's going to be the ones with the little stars. I love that. That's great. We love that. Thank you with the transparency, Wet n Wilds. I try to keep things very, no blurred lines here. So I will probably still be using the colors that are not intended for the eye area. For the eye area, it's a risk I'm willing to take, but I do want to mention that, and you could always Google why pigments aren't eye safe. Search that, but I am a risk taker. I love makeup. Glitter usually isn't eye safe yet. I'm still using it, but I just always want to use that disclaimer. Moral of the story is I will always tell you if it's eye safe, if it's not, but I might still be using it on my eye area. But that's up to you to make that decision. Today, I'm actually going to show you the easiest green holiday eye you've ever seen. We're going to need some eyeshadow base. And my lids are going to be a little bit red because purple stains. It's what it does. So you might notice that. And I'm just going to even this out. Why am I 100 miles away back here? Sometimes I forget. I'm sorry. Even though I do this every single day. You think I'd know better. But I just get here and there's sparkly green shadow in front of me and I just go absolutely feral. So I want to use all the shades that are eye safe. Believe it or not, this one actually is. I'm very excited. So let's start with this shade. And again, this is not Feral Monday, so I'm going to keep it as simple as possible, but green was requested. So we're going to make green as wearable as possible. Let's take this shade. Oh, pigment. Nice. And we're just going to press this into my crease. Smooth. Just keeps going. I love this. And I'm just going to tap it. I'm using the side of my brush. You just saw me adjust so I can start tapping it this way. And then I'm going to adjust this way to take it over here. And then I'll just tilt my head back a little, and whatever's left, I'm just going to press it in here to set all those little lines. That's a really nice transition color. Okay. So now just to deepen the crease, I'm going to grab the exact same shade, but I'm going to grab it on the tip of the brush instead of the side, so right in the middle. See it right there? I'm going to take that, I'm going to tilt my head back, and I'm just going to press it into the deepest part of the socket just to add some depth. And it's going to be darker there so that green is going to melt in and kind of blend in and hide itself better. I wonder if this black right here is eye safe. It is. Yay. Okay, well, we'll use some of that in a second, but let's build this up. Just keep tapping, pressing it into the socket. And the socket, I know, sometimes we don't even know that, and that's okay, because I really didn't understand it either. So you'll feel this bone here, and then we want to go right under that bone. So feel around for that bone. This is so morbid. So we're just going to take whatever base is left here on our brush, and just make sure that this lid space here is nice and tacky. I just did a video on it. I believe it's 2 or 3 posts back. Please go watch that video. I feel like y'all are missing the post, and there's so much information there. And then I feel like the people that do see the posts are missing the stories. I put out a lot of helpful content. I just don't want y'all to miss it. Please don't miss it. It's not something you want to miss. This is delicious. I hope it's this pretty on, because honestly, this collection has really impressed me so far. So let's make sure we're not setting any creases. Let's go ahead and press this and pull it across the lid. I am impressed. Oh, happy day. This is gorgeous. I'm actually going to switch to a C30 because I need more precision. Actually, I should have used that, but I just got way too excited. Makeup, I love it so much. Let's grab it on a C30 because we're going to have more precision. And it acts like, see that? It acts like a fingertip because it's so dense and flat. Let's just go ahead and take it across here. And I'm not going to go completely into my crease. You'll notice that I don't want it to peek out here. I want it to be hidden when I relax my eye. And you're also going to notice that this right here, you're going to notice that this right here is left bare. And I'm not sure what I want to put there, but whatever I put there, I don't want to put it on top of the shimmer. It's just going to mix with that shimmer. And then if it's brown, if it's black, it won't be its true color because it will have mixed with the green and the shimmer, and that's going to lighten it. And it might even mess with your wear time. So leave this space here bare. Just try it. Just trust me on that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to kind of pull it out this way. And then we'll grab that other Eye Safe black shade that's in the palette. Gosh, that's stunning. And that's Wet n Wild. Now let's grab this shade. Grab it on the tip of the brush. I don't think it's a black. I feel like it's a super, super dark brown. Now that I've taken a closer look, I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to press this kind of on top of the green and into that first transition. There you go. You can start to see it kind of just melt together. Nice. Super easy. We're almost done with the eye, believe it or not. I know none of y'all believe me because you're just waiting for the rattle of rhinestones. But yesterday was Feral Monday, so I'm going to keep this very simple. But y'all did want another holiday look, and this is incredibly easy. Look at how nicely that's melting together. This is honestly reminding me of a very high-end palette. It's so easy to use, and that's what we're needing right now because we're doing holiday in a hurry. Now, holiday hurry means no wing. I get it. Wings can be very time consuming. So let's just take that and press it along our lash line. But you'll see why we left that lid space bare now. Ben is buying me and himself some new tennis shoes. So we're discussing tennis shoes together. All the benefits. All the pros and the cons of tennis shoes. That is the great discussion in the house today. I still want you to notice that I am packing this color on. I'm using the side of the brush on the E27. It's all on the side. And then from there, I'm really just packing this on to where it's nice and dark at the lash line. I'm gonna grab some more for this side. And that'll go ahead and set the rest of that base. Love these lashes. Plus, they're incredibly easy to put on because the lash band is so thin. And then they start to mold to your eye, and it's just, they're so comfortable because of how thin the lash band is. They're so light, and that means easy to put on. P.S. I have a whole lash tutorial on my saved highlights. Let's use our RMS foundation. I have a code with RMS right now. It's code ROSE20. Of course, it can't be combined with any other discounts, but if you want to support me, just use the code. If not, and you can get a better deal, obviously, get that better deal. So let's apply this. I'm going to use the shade 33.5. Let's just tap this in. Now there's a vacuum going on down there. It's a whole party going on today. I love this foundation. Y'all have seen me use this foundation for quite a while now. It's so pretty. So blurring. But it's also one of those foundations that's very easy and quick to apply. You know what I'm talking about. Some foundations, they take a little, this is a good example. Think of Double Wear. It takes a lot of effort because you have to be very precise and work quickly in certain sections. Anyways, I was saying that think of Double Wear, anything very extremely long wearing. There's just certain foundations that are a lot more effort to put on. This is not that foundation, and it's just so beautiful, and you do get nice coverage. I mean, you can see that right there. But it just melts in so quickly, so evenly. And I feel like that's, not only is it just beautiful, but I feel like that's another reason that I gravitate towards it, because it's just so easy to work with. Now let's take an E29 and the tiniest amount of foundation. I always like to show this. I know I'm very repetitive at times, but I get a lot of new supporters, and sometimes we just need a reminder. And I had already cleaned this up with micellar water, which I have shown quite a bit. I'll probably show it again tomorrow. Just tap that in. Look at how that just melted in with the foundation. Still one of my favorite things to do. I'm gonna do this side now. Honestly, I think that they might be moving down there and they're not even telling me. They're just gonna leave me here. There are things happening down there. Really what's happening is we're actually decorating for Christmas. We're putting up our Christmas tree, and I was decorating my fireplace, and Mama was helping me out. So that's what they're doing. But then there was a bowl that got broke, so that's why the vacuum's going in so wild. Ben's making sure that all of that's nicely cleaned up. So it's just absolutely feral down there, but it's very holiday feral, so I condone that. So I'm just going to grab the wrong color. I'm looking for it. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this concealer and use it as a corrector. This is Sephora Collection and 23.5p. Yes, I had to double check that. I've said it enough now, but I feel like sometimes whenever you wear these darker tones, a smidgen of corrector is always a good idea. I have videos on corrector, and if you read captions, I actually have a whole IGTV on corrector, and that caption is extremely helpful. But anytime you wear these darker tones, they tend to bring out darkness underneath the eye. And I feel like that's one of the reasons we kind of steer away from them, because we see it and we're like, ooh, this looks terrible. But a little bit of corrector, even though I don't have dark circles, a little bit of corrector just helps balance that and the shadows that even the lashes might cause. Now for some brightening, I'm gonna grab, I love this concealer. I love the Sephora Collection, but I love this one right now for brightening because I'm a little bit more fair, so it's really, really nice underneath my eye, especially with a corrector underneath it, and it's so thin. I've talked about this one. And in case this ad pops up on your page, that was not an ad originally. I didn't even plan on filming it. But what happens a lot of times, because all of you trust me and you know what I'm loving and not loving, and you buy the things and you're like, wow, Rose was right. So you'll have my trust now. Brands will just say, hey, we love that video. Can we just pay you to, it's called boosting, and then they'll pay it. So it originally was not an ad, and that's actually the type of sponsored content I love doing because it's so authentic. It's like, I love the product. Of course you can boost it. So in case you're ever wondering. Oh, and also, remember the Laura Geller powder? Yeah, that was not an ad to begin with either. So if that's popping up, those weren't ads. I know in this day and age, it just gets so confusing. What was an ad, what's not. But one thing you are always going to be able to count on, I will let you know. I have no issues because I do these daily tutorials. Remember that. And I do these, and unless it says ad, I'm doing that for nothing. I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for myself. So you see the products before they're an ad, and then you see them after. So you have to think of that. I'm behind something because you're going to see it here endlessly. You're just going to get sick of it. And then you're going to see it way before that ad. You're going to see the ad, and then you see it after the ad. And I'm able to keep that authenticity because I do so much content. I'm always here doing these daily tutorials. So please just know that you can trust me. You're not just going to see one post and then you'll never see the product, because that would make me so sad. Ugh, I can't do that. I'm going to go for a little bit more coverage today, so I'm using my Huda powder, Cherry Blossom. That's nice. This one is definitely a lot of coverage. Even though it's a pink powder, we're thinking, how could that have coverage? But it has a lot of that pink in it, and you can see that it just... Look at that. Look at that brightening. It's so blurring and beautiful. I love it. The Givenchy is still going to be my favorite because it's a little bit more natural, but when I'm going for a little bit more spice and I didn't want to add a lot of foundation, this is the powder. So I can actually wind up wearing less foundation and just do a lot of this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set my whole face because we're gonna do powders today. Whenever I'm in a hurry, I usually reach for powders. And by powders, I mean powder blush, powder bronzer. I'm gonna disappear for just a second and I gotta go hop on a call. I'll be back in just a minute. By the way, I didn't even tag the puff. This is our puff. Look at that nice puff. That's a nice puff. I'm gonna link the puff. Okay, I'm back. And I'm gonna use Gucci bronzer, but I forgot that I ordered shade 0, this is 01. Yes, I ordered 01, I think last year sometime. And I just want to try it out because I'm a little bit more fair right now. 02 always works for me, but if I have this, I want to use it. I will say these are really, really buildable. And I'm using a C40. Oh, this is nice right now. That is a really nice bronzer shade. That's really pretty. Okay. Okay, I might be using 01 right now. So I want to mix these two. We're going to start with this one. It wouldn't matter which one. And we'll just start to build that up. A little bit more of the same. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I didn't have it in frame. I just did 2 taps in each. And there we have it. That's pretty. Now let's grab this shade again on an E27, grab it in the center, and we're gonna smudge underneath here with that color. Nice. Let's just tie in the green with the green waterline. By the way, these are my favorite if you're wanting a shimmery waterline liner. It's these from Stila. I love them. In fact, I want to go get the silver one today. Now for lips, I'm actually going to hop off and film this because Glamzilla made me buy these and I want to show you them. I haven't used this one yet because this is the one she used in the video, but I did use this one. And I want to tell you that now it's not going to be sparkly like the Queen Cosmetics. Those are just next level. But think of this as skincare. And I will say I ate dinner and it actually lasted. I wore just a little bit of lip liner, no lipstick, and I wore this. And it actually lasted. But let's see. Genius. What did he just say? So we're gonna grab this shade right here. That's gonna be our inner corner. It is Eye Safe. How pretty. Look at how pigmented. Goodness. Oh, it's so pretty. It's blue. It's so frosty. All right, I'm gonna go hop off and film this and I'll be back. Well, at least I'll be back to take the pictures in case you wanna recreate it. That way I can save this to my highlights. This was actually really simple. Isn't this beautiful? And if the blue inner corner is not your vibe, you could just use one that has a lot more yellow, a lot more gold, because that's gonna go beautifully with the green. I love y'all so much. This is probably what I'm gonna post tonight, so get ready for that. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in tonight's post.
The prettiest lip gloss I have
at
ever
that
owned.
sparkle.
It's by Dior.
Gorgeous.
So
Glamzilla made me buy
maximize your
this.
pumping gloss.
Let's try it. So I'm just going to be using my regular lighting. We're not going to use flash. We're going to look at it in low light too. We'll look at it in as many lightings as I can find in my house. Okay, here goes with my lighting. It's definitely sparkling. Again, we're going to look at this in all the different lighting. I think there's natural lighting today too. And I'm going to do this side. Ooh. One more in this lighting. Them sparkles do be a sparkling. Here it is in lower light. Definitely sparkling. Let's look at it with flash. This is pretty. And it's been raining, but somehow there's sunlight. So here it is in natural lighting. By the way, I do have another color and I wore it. It lasted about 2 or 3 hours. I like this.